Why does Marjorie Taylor
Doubt
Greene
it.
get so much attention? There hasn't been a time since she entered office that I can see her on a news feed at some point in my day. I can see her being presidential candidate really soon.
Because she's nuts. That's why she gets attention.
But also, I mean, this is the formula. The right loves her. The right loves her. And the left can't help but watch her. That is the dynamic that has been the case. And I mean the left, like, socialists. I'm saying center to the left. That has always been the case. That is why, Rush Limbaugh had people who would love watch him and hate watch him. But you want to know proof that the right loves Marjorie Taylor Greene? Here is Mitch McConnell saying that I'm not going to weigh in on punishing what Marjorie Taylor Greene said. I'm just going to say something that is really going to not create any news.
Well, she doesn't serve in the Senate, but this is one of a frequent outbursts that are absolutely
news to Tuberville.
Outrageous and reprehensible. But any punishment, I assume, would have to be administered by the House.
Would you recommend anything to Kevin McCarthy?
Yeah.
Are there any changes?
Yeah, he's not going to recommend anything to Kevin McCarthy because he doesn't want the headline. McConnell says she should do blankety blank because he knows that would cause problems for him. He just says what she said was bad, but it's not up to me. Now, you think Mitch McConnell was quiet about when he thought Ilhan Omar had said something bad?
No, you're right. Yeah. He said that this is a House matter. No, he didn't.
I'm not going to. Yeah, of course. I mean, so that's that there's nothing there's nothing she could do at this point that that could alienate her from these politicians because.
Well, I mean, part of what this project is about too, I mean, we saw that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez was able to make some sort of peace with the Democratic leadership based on the amount of money that she fundraises. And we covered how she sent some of leftover money that she was able to fundraise to vulnerable Democrats. Marjorie Taylor Greene might serve a similar function for the Republican Party, which is not to equate the two in terms of their intellect or anything about them, but somebody who is connected to the base of the party who has significant fundraising potential. Hers is not as robust as that of Ocasio-Cortez, but Marjorie Taylor Greene is raising eyebrows with the amount of money that she's been able to fundraise from grassroots donations. And so that's not somebody that McConnell wants to, I guess, completely excommunicate from the party. He's going to let it play out and see where it goes. When money's involved, that's you can predict that kind of posture from McConnell.
And it's also, I mean, it's not just a question of money, I think, for him, because she doesn't bring in, like you say, she doesn't bring in the kind of money that AOC does, and she doesn't represent, but she is much closer to their average voter than I think in many respects than AOC might be for the Democrats. I mean, you have a homogeneity then in the Republican Party, and she represents that party quite well.
Yeah, all the way. I mean, that's exactly how I felt about Marjorie Taylor Greene. You talk about right-wing populism, like she is representative of that, like a, handed wealth sort of like online Facebook user who has assumed the office of, a local representative or,
And who's like a business owner and like a small, as Matt has kind of talked about, like of that specific kind of class,
Yeah, but I think that's like, I think on their side, that's secondary. That may be how she was able to win,
Well, and just in terms of like, they were like, it was a very similar demo to the Capitol insurrectionists, very online Facebook, like,
I think we could find out that a bunch of them are friends. But like, the stuff that she was doing with like putting up her poster and that stuff she was doing, the video that came out with her, like, Andrea, I'm here at your letter mailbox. Come out,
Andrea.
What did she say? Like, what did she called her something?
Alexandria.
Alexandria. I can't remember. I just remember her being like sing-songy with it, like in a creepy, really super creep.
No, she was drunk. Like that was I mean, I don't know.
Represents the Republican Party. Like there's a good 40%. Look, over 50% of the Republican Party think that Donald Trump won the election.
Yes.
Of course they're not going to say anything about Marjorie Taylor Greene because she's represents the majority of the party.
That's what's bad about her getting so much focus is it obscures how insane everybody else is and how their positions are completely on the moon as well. They just don't invoke Hitler.
Yeah. But the fact is, there is no context short of like with business leaders where you could put Mitch McConnell and Marjorie Taylor Greene in the same room with like 500 Republican voters. And 475 of them are going to rush up to get Marjorie Taylor Greene's autograph.
Mm-hmm.
And 25 are going to go over to Mitch and say like, hey, man, thanks for the tax cut. Thanks for the tax cut. And thanks for, rolling back as many regulations you could. And I really do appreciate everything that's happening on those courts. You're going to be able to, maintain our power for a long time.
And with this media attention, she serves a similar function for those same voters that they valued so much in Trump, which is just like really triggering the libs or, saying the things that the libs hate. It's similar in that way.
Let's hear